If you're over 60, what you do in the first 10 minutes after waking up could be the difference between a calm, steady day or a hidden sugar spike that silently damages your heart, eyes, and brain. This isn't fear mongering, it's biology. And the truth is, millions of seniors across America start their mornings with a habit that feels completely harmless, even healthy, but is quietly pushing their blood sugar to dangerous levels before breakfast is even served. Doctors call it the morning glucose trap. And once you fall into it, your body doesn't even warn you. You won't feel dizzy, you won't feel pain, but your pancreas will panic, your insulin will surge, and the silent damage begins. The hidden danger every senior over 60 faces. Let's start with something shocking. According to new research from the University of Virginia, 72% of adults over 60 experience morning glucose spikes higher than 140 milligrams DL, even if they haven't eaten a single bite. They wake up, brush their teeth, sip their healthy morning drink, and unknowingly flood their bloodstream with sugar. This isn't happening because of dessert. It's happening because of something far sneakier. A morning reflex that your body used to handle easily at 30, but now turns against you after 60. You see, when you wake up, your body releases two stress hormones, cortisol and adrenaline, to help you feel alert. This is perfectly normal. But after 60, your cells stop responding properly to insulin. So when those hormones trigger your liver to dump glucose into your blood for energy, your insulin can't mop it up fast enough. The result, a sugar surge before you even eat breakfast. And here's the terrifying twist. What you do next, the very first thing you put into your mouth, can make that spike twice as high. The harmless morning habit that's quietly hurting you. Every morning, millions of older Americans reach for the same comfort: black coffee on an empty stomach. Sounds innocent, right? You've probably heard coffee helps you wake up, boosts metabolism, maybe even protects your heart. But here's what no one told you: coffee before food can cause a 50% higher blood sugar spike in seniors compared to those who eat first. A 2020 study from the British Journal of Nutrition found that when people drank coffee before breakfast, their blood sugar response to that meal skyrocketed. Their bodies released excess insulin trying to compensate, the same hormonal roller coaster that leads to fatigue, weight gain, and eventually type 2 diabetes. Now imagine doing that every single morning for years. Your blood sugar quietly stays elevated for hours, your insulin stays high, your cells become more resistant, and even though you eat healthy and don't touch sweets, your body acts like it's living on candy. That's why so many seniors say things like, I don't even eat sugar, so why are my numbers so high? The answer is sitting right in your coffee cup. Let me tell you about Martha. She's 67, a retired teacher from Ohio. She walks every morning, eats oatmeal, and never touches dessert. But during a routine checkup, her doctor frowned. Her fasting glucose had jumped to 158. She was shocked. How is that possible? I don't even eat sugar, she said. When her doctor asked what her mornings look like, Martha said proudly, well, I wake up at 6, have my coffee right away, black, no sugar, and then I eat around 9. That's when the doctor smiled and said, there's your answer. You see, Martha's liver was already releasing glucose as she woke up, part of what's called the dawn phenomenon. Then, that cup of coffee, especially black, triggered her stress hormones even higher, adding fuel to the fire. By the time she ate breakfast 3 hours later, her body was already swimming in sugar. When she flipped the order, eating a small protein snack before her coffee, her glucose dropped by 38 points in 2 weeks. No new meds, no special diets, just one small morning change. Why this happens, and why it gets worse after 60. Here's where the science gets really fascinating and terrifying. After age 60, your pancreas starts losing its first phase insulin response. That's the quick burst of insulin your body normally sends out to handle a glucose spike. Without it, your blood sugar climbs fast and lingers longer. Now, caffeine, especially on an empty stomach, stimulates the release of adrenaline. That adrenaline tells your liver, dump stored sugar now. But because your insulin is sluggish, your blood sugar soars, and your cells stay starved. It's like flooding your house with fuel. When the spark plugs aren't firing, everything just gets stuck. Over time, that daily morning flood wears down your blood vessels, your kidneys, even your brain. In fact, a 2022 Harvard Medical School review found that seniors who regularly drink coffee before eating have a 31% higher risk of developing insulin resistance, even if they maintain normal weight. And here's the worst part: you don't feel it happening. There's no pain, no dizziness, no warning, just quiet damage day after day. If you've been feeling tired after meals, craving naps, or waking up with dry mouth or foggy thinking, that's not just aging. It's your body's warning light flashing under the hood. When blood sugar rises too high in the morning, your blood thickens slightly, circulation slows, less oxygen reaches your muscles and brain. That's why so many seniors describe mornings as sluggish or heavy. Your body isn't lazy, it's overloaded. Dr. Michael Rosen, a gerontologist from Cleveland Clinic, explains it best. Every morning glucose surge is like tiny sandpaper scraping your arteries. You don't see the damage right away, but over years, it accelerates everything: memory loss, joint stiffness, vision decline, even heart disease. The truth is, the most dangerous sugar spikes aren't the ones you feel after cake. They're the ones that happen before breakfast. The 3-minute morning fix most seniors don't know. The good news? You can completely reverse this morning sugar trap, and it takes less than 3 minutes. Here's how. The secret is to train your body to expect food before caffeine. All it takes is a tiny buffer meal, something rich in protein or fat before your coffee. It can be as simple as half a boiled egg, a small piece of cheese, from bet arome, or even a few almond. This tiny bite tells your liver, stop dumping sugar. Your insulin activates properly, and when you drink coffee afterward, your blood sugar stays stable instead of spiking. A 2021 study from the University of Bath confirmed that participants who ate a small snack before coffee had 52% lower blood sugar levels after breakfast than those who didn't. Just imagine what that could mean for your energy, your mood, and your long term health. But here's the catch: not all healthy morning habits are innocent. Because there's another hidden danger, far more deceptive, and almost every senior I meet does it. It's not coffee this time, it's something you've been told your whole life was the best way to start your day. Doctors used to recommend it, TV commercials made it sound essential, and yet new science says it's quietly training your body to become insulin resistant. I'll reveal exactly what that is in part 2. But before you go, take a second to think about your own mornings. Do you drink coffee before eating? Do you often skip breakfast thinking you're saving calories? Drop your age and your morning routine in the comments because how you start your day could be the single biggest blood sugar mistake you're making after 60. In part 2, you'll discover the so called healthy breakfast that spikes blood sugar worse than donuts, the Japanese morning ritual proven to lower fasting glucose by 28% in seniors, Ramuto rebuild your body's natural sugar control system without giving up your morning coffee. Because controlling your blood sugar isn't about giving things up, it's about doing them in the right order. Stay tuned because the next part might just save you years of silent damage. You've learned how black coffee on an empty stomach can quietly raise your blood sugar, but that's only half the story. Because after coffee comes the next mistake, the one that's hiding inside your breakfast bowl. And what I'm about to tell you has shocked even nutrition researchers, because it turns out the very foods seniors have trusted for decades, the ones labeled heart healthy, low fat, and doctor approved, are the same ones quietly forcing your blood sugar to rise and crash like a roller coaster before noon. The healthy breakfast that isn't. For years, commercials told us start your day with whole grain cereal and fruit. Doctors repeated it, magazines printed it, and so millions of seniors still do it, pouring a bowl of cereal, adding a banana, maybe a glass of orange juice on the side. It feels light, clean, responsible. But here's the truth: almost nobody tells you that breakfast contains more sugar than a glazed donut, a single banana up to 24 grams, a glass of orange juice, another 26. And heart healthy cereal, many brands hide 18-30 grams per serving, even the ones with oats and raisins. Put them together, and you've just consumed over 70 grams of sugar before your day even starts. That's nearly 3 times what the American Heart Association recommends for an entire day. So if you've been starting your morning this way, it's not your willpower that's failing, it's your information. Why seniors get hit harder? Younger people can sometimes get away with sugary breakfast because their insulin still responds quickly. But after 60, your metabolism changes. Your muscle cells become resistant to insulin's knock. Your pancreas has to shout louder, releasing more and more insulin to clear the same amount of sugar. The result? Energy crashes by mid morning, cravings by lunchtime, and eventually something worse: insulin resistance. A 2023 study from Johns Hopkins showed that adults over 60 who ate high glycemic breakfast had a 43% higher risk of developing prediabetes within 5 years compared to those who started with protein or fat. It's not just a sugar problem, it's a timing problem and a chemistry problem. Meet George M., a 74-year-old veteran from Tennessee. He'd been eating the same breakfast for 20 years: cereal, banana, juice. His doctor warned him his A1C had climbed to 6.4 pre-diabetic range. George swore he didn't eat sweets, never drank soda, and walked daily. Still, his numbers rose. When a nutritionist switched his breakfast to eggs, spinach, and half an avocado while keeping his black coffee after food, something remarkable happened. Within 3 weeks, his fasting glucose dropped by 31 points. Within 3 months, his A1C normalized. His only change? The first 15 minutes of his day. Researchers call it nutrient sequencing. It means the order in which you eat determines how your blood sugar behaves for the rest of the day. When you start with carbs, your insulin spikes immediately. But when you start with protein or fat, insulin stays calm, and even when carbs arrive later, your body handles them gracefully. A 2021 study from the University of Illinois found that eating eggs or yogurt before toast cut post-meal glucose by 42%. Your first bite literally programs your metabolism for the next 12 hours. That's why the breakfast order matters more than the breakfast itself. The 5-minute switch. Here's the fix every senior should know. Tomorrow morning, before touching your coffee or cereal, do this. Eat a bite of protein or healthy fat, a boiled egg, a spoon of peanut butter, or a small piece of cheese. Wait 5 minutes. Then have your coffee or breakfast. That's it. 5 minutes that could lower your morning glucose by 30% or more. Simple, free, and proven. A 2022 Japanese study tested this exact routine in adults aged 65 to 80. After 6 weeks, their fasting glucose dropped by 24 points, and their average energy ratings increased by 46%. Imagine that, feeling younger, sharper, steadier, just by flipping your order of bites and sips. The real enemy, morning inflammation. But blood sugar isn't the only thing spiking. When glucose rises fast, it releases a wave of inflammatory molecules, IL-6, TNF-alpha, C-reactive protein. These are the same markers linked to heart attacks, memory loss, and aging skin. Every morning spike is like a tiny internal wildfire. Over time, it burns through your arteries, eyes, and even your brain's communication lines. That's why neurologists now call chronic high morning sugar type 3 diabetes, the form that targets the brain itself. If you've noticed increasing forgetfulness, brain fog, or sudden fatigue after breakfast, it's not just aging, it's inflammation disguised as routine. The Japanese morning reset. In Okinawa, one of the world's longest living communities, seniors start their morning very differently. No sugary cereal, no fruit juice. Instead, they begin with what they call haraasa, a breathing and balance ritual done before eating. They sit or stand, take 3 deep breaths through the nose, hold for 2 seconds, and exhale slowly through the mouth. This calms the nervous system and lowers cortisol, the same hormone that spikes blood sugar at dawn. Then they drink a warm, mineral-rich tea made from roasted barley or green leaves. No caffeine, just trace minerals that help their cells absorb glucose efficiently. Scientists at Tokyo Medical University found that practicing hara asa for 2 weeks reduced morning cortisol by 23% and stabilized fasting glucose by 18%. The secret wasn't exotic herbs, it was rhythm, breathing, calm, and warmth before the chaos of the day. The brain reset routine. Inspired by that research, doctors in the US developed what they now call the brain reset routine, a 2-minute sequence seniors can do right after waking up. Step 1. Sit up slowly, place your feet on the floor, and take 3 deep nose breaths. This oxygenates your brain and gently wakes up your nervous system. Step 2. Drink half a cup of warm water with a pinch of salt or lemon. It rehydrates your cells and signals your liver that food is coming soon, preventing that glucose dump. Step 3. Eat a small bite of protein or fat, even half a boiled egg works. That anchors your insulin response. Step 4. Only then, have your coffee or tea. Thousands of seniors following this sequence report dramatic differences. Clearer heads, steadier energy, no more morning fog. Margaret, 69 from Arizona, called it her miracle morning. For years, she woke up dizzy, shaky, and anxious until lunch. Her doctor blamed anxiety, but when she tried the brain reset routine, everything changed. Within a week, her blood sugar readings leveled. Within a month, she stopped needing her mid-morning nap. Her doctor was stunned. Her A1C had dropped half a point without medication. She said, "I didn't need a new pill, I needed a new order." Many seniors ask, "But I love my morning fruit, is that bad?" No, fruit isn't evil. It's the timing that matters. Eat fruit after protein or fat, not before. A slice of apple after breakfast, great. Banana before coffee, disaster. Protein slows digestion, giving your pancreas time to manage sugar. Eat carbs first, and you'll chase that spike all day long. Think of your metabolism as a campfire. Start with logs, protein, fat, then add the tinder, carbs. Do it backwards, and the fire flares up and burns out fast. The silent morning killer. Here's the frightening truth most people never hear. High morning glucose, even just once or twice a week, can trigger something called glycation. That's when sugar molecules stick to your red blood cells, making them stiff and sticky. Sticky blood damages the tiniest vessels first, in your eyes, kidneys, and brain. That's why the earliest sign of blood sugar trouble often isn't thirst or hunger, it's blurred vision or forgetfulness. Every spike adds up, like rust slowly spreading through a pipe, and once that rust sets in, it's hard to reverse. But you can stop it from spreading, starting tomorrow morning. The 7-day challenge. If you're serious about protecting your brain, your heart, and your independence, start this simple 7-day morning challenge. No coffee or tea before food. Take 3 deep nose breaths before standing. Eat 1 bite of protein within 10 minutes of waking. Replace juice with water or unsweetened tea. Record your energy levels before lunch. By day 3, most people notice they're calmer, steadier, and less hungry mid-morning. By day 7, their fasting glucose drops noticeably. Harvard endocrinologists call this retraining the dawn response. It's like teaching your body a new morning language. What this really means: you don't need to quit coffee, you don't need expensive supplements, you just need to respect your body's morning chemistry and reverse the order of your routine. Because aging doesn't make your body weak, it makes it wiser. Your body is still trying to protect you. You just have to stop confusing it. Every calm breath, every first bite, every mindful morning is a message to your cells: we're safe, we're balanced, we don't need to panic. And when your body stops panicking, your blood sugar stabilizes naturally. Tomorrow morning, before the noise of the world begins, pause for a moment. Feel your heartbeat. Take 1 slow breath, Then feed your body, not your habits, because healing doesn't begin in a hospital. It begins in those quiet morning minutes when you choose peace over rush, nourishment over caffeine, and awareness over autopilot. Your next cup of coffee isn't the enemy, it just needs a friend, a little food, a little breath, a little gratitude. So tomorrow morning, before you sip, whisper to yourself, I'm in control of my morning. My morning no longer controls me, because that one choice to care before you rush could be the difference between 10 more years of strength or one more year of struggle. 2 minutes. That's all it takes. And the reward could be decades of steadier blood sugar, sharper mind, and longer life. So take those 2 minutes, because your next 60 seconds could be the start of your next 10 years.